So find the equation of a perpendicular bisector between 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Perpendicular bisector means that it has to be perpendicular to this line and also cutting it in half. So where is half? First is to find the midpoint. If I were to do a triangle of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 by 4, I'd need to go 3 by 2. I'm thinking the middle is right there. 3, -2. What's the slope of AB? The original line. Because I need perpendicular. Can't find perpendicular until I have the actual slope. I think it was down 6 over 4, but I reduced it to 3 over 2. It's got to be -3 over 2, though, because it's pointing downward as a whole. It doesn't matter if you make the 3 negative or the 2, but something's got to be negative, and it only can be one of those things that are negative. Next, we need the perpendicular line slope. So if it's -3 over 2, you have to flip it and change the sign to positive. Next is to come up with this equation. Let's see, y equals mx plus b. I've got my slope, and I've got my x, and I've got my y. It's got to travel through my midpoint. -1 for y, 2/3 for m, 3 for x. I don't know b. 2/3 of 3 is just 2. Take away 2. I'm getting b is -3. So when I go back to do y equals mx plus b again, I need a slope of 2/3 and a b of -3. I think that's my equation. So it's going to be going this direction like this. Starting at here, at this point, the midpoint, it's going to be going up 2 and over 3, or down 2 and back 3. Definitely looks perpendicular when I do it. And the equation of this is 2/3 x minus 3. And take a look at where it hits the y-axis. Right at -3. That's my y, or my b. My y-intercept. So there's a few ways to get to this equation. Try number 4 to kickstart it on your own. C is at 1, 1, and D is at -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh. Locus of points equidistant from these 2 points. So imagine I put 2 cups down on the ground. Where would you stand? You want to be equidistant from both points. You'd need to be in the middle. That's why the first thing we start with is the midpoint. What looks like it's in the middle? Well, I know to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 to get from one point to the other. So if I go 4, 1, that should be halfway. So I'm thinking the midpoint is at 0, 5. What's the slope of this line, CD? Well, it's definitely pointing downward. I kind of write that in a little bit lightly. Downward, so it's going to be negative. And I went down 4 spaces and over 1. So if I'm doing a perpendicular bisector, it's got to go from the midpoint and it's got to be a perpendicular slope, or a slope perpendicular. So if my original slope is negative 4 over 1, perpendicular is going to be positive, and that flips 1/4. One way to come up with its equation is to do y equals mx plus b. You've got your slope and you've got your point. Now, something you might realize right off the bat is 5 was our y-intercept. So once I already know what my y-intercept is, I really didn't have to do that math there. 1/4 can go in for m, but 5 is going to be my b. And let's take a look at what it would look like. From 5, it would go up 1 and over 4, or down 1 and back 4. And it should look perfectly perpendicular. And it should hit in the middle. We have little perpendicular lines there.